Hello, I'm Helen DeVita, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about something that I think is quite interesting. It is about cabinets in the seance room, and I was inspired to actually talk about this because of a myth that had somehow propagated. So I'll tell you what happened. So I was doing some interviews on my work with another person in another country via Zoom. And when we met for the first time, we knew we were going to talk about trance mediumship. And she said to me, your colleagues say you work in a cabinet for trance. And well, I had to correct her, of course, because I don't and never have done. And so I don't know where that myth got propagated from, but it's like a lot of stuff here, and a lot of teachers talk an awful lot of BS about other teachers. So let's just get that on the table and let's get rid of it, because no, I have never sat for a trance demonstration in a cabinet. I've sat in a cabinet to see what it was like. I've tried it out, but I've never worked and done my work within a cabinet. What I have done as a tutor is had a cabinet available for students to experiment and try it and see if they like it, if they don't like it, see if they feel any difference, they sense anything differently, or they feel empowered, or no difference whatsoever. So let me tell you something here about cabinets. Is generally they're not used in trance anyway. The cabinet was introduced to the seance room sort of Victorian era, really after the birth of modern spiritualism in the 19th century. And in the 19th and 20th centuries, as spiritualism popularized and more people were sitting, the seance evolved in a very different way to how traditionally our ancestors and indigenous ancestors would sit for the trance state. So this is I'm assuming you understand what trance is when I talk about trance, because that's a whole nother video. In fact, it's a whole nother year or 10. So we'll maybe tackle different aspects of that then. So yeah, the idea was that in physical mediumship, so where everyone present experiences the same phenomena, witnesses the same phenomena, feels the same phenomena, it's not subject to the mind like mental mediumship, which is what trance is. So it involves, if you like, a bypassing of the conscious mind and allowing the mind of spirit to express itself in numerous ways. Okay, so let's get back to the seance cabinet. So around about that time, the cabinet came into popularity because people felt, this is what they say, that when they were enclosed in a cabinet, that the energies were more condensed and that they felt the spirit world was closer, and so that they could sit and develop their physical mediumship more effectively. Okay, so let's look at what's a cabinet. Well, it could be a wooden structure, looks a bit like a cupboard. Many people would have a curtain across it. It could be the corner of a room. Someone puts a pole across the corner of the room and a curtain, so you are enclosed. The whole idea is that you're enclosed somehow. Some people now use pop-up tents, and there's a whole range in between of what people use as a cabinet, but basically it's an enclosed space where you would sit for spirit in terms of mediumship. Of course, we all have other understandings of what a cabinet is, so let's not just make an assumption that, everyone knows what I'm talking about and thinks I'm talking about the cabinet with all the plates and crockery in it. So that is the basis of it. Now, we know why people say And people say their spirit teams have told them to use a cabinet. But yeah, no, your spirit team, well, let's not even go there, because there's so much BS about that one as well. So basically, you can create a cabinet. And I must admit, when I've sat in a cabinet and let's put my cards on the table, you kind of feel very safe, very enclosed. It's very womb-like, and especially if you're sitting in subdued lighting, red lighting, and in the pitch black. Well, what's the flipping point anyway? But let's not even go on that one BS. But so a cabinet, and people find it very, very helpful, and that's fine. And I think it is, preference, and I always think it's worth experimenting. However, there's no need in trance, because you're working with the mind. I'm going to show you some photographs. Now, it doesn't really matter what you think of them. The point is, had I sat in a cabinet, what was witnessed would not have been witnessed. So on a course that I was conducting, Arthur's Gift, at the Arthur Findlay College, back in 2016, December 2016, we were very fortunate that as one of our guests at the college was Shannon Taggart, the well-known seance photographer. And I know Shannon because I've taught her before, and she's absolutely wonderful. And she always asks, with the greatest of courtesy, is she allowed to take photographs? Well, I like that. She doesn't use a flash. She has a really good camera. She is a professional photojournalist, and she has the right sensor and the right lens. That means that she can work in low light, and so whatever she picks up, she picks up. And the lovely thing about Shannon, and she does have a book, so do search for Shannon Taggart, the Séance. It's just called Séance, actually, and it's all her photographic journey with it. It's amazing, really. It's a brilliant book, really beautiful. Anyway, so Shannon is there, and I said, "Well, of course you can, Shannon. We know that she does it really well, and she doesn't intrude in any way, and she's totally respectful." So I'm giving a trance demonstration on the stage of the sanctuary at the Arthur Findlay College. So a very big room. I'm sat on an ordinary chair. With me, assisting me throughout the evening, and, if you like, being the master of ceremonies and looking after everyone, is the medium and tutor Jan Marshall. We conduct this evening in red light. I like red light. No funny comments there. But I like it because I think when you block out all the ultraviolet light, it helps me, because what it actually does is it encourages all those sleepy chemicals and brain cells and things like that. It encourages them to increase. So you feel very relaxed, and it makes it a very relaxing atmosphere. So I like that. And so we had one red light bulb. We had the lights of the Christmas tree and just the curtains drawn, but no room lights. But everyone could see everyone, and everyone could see everything. And I'm sat on an ordinary chair, exactly the same type of chair as the students sit on. It's got no arms. So I'm sat on an ordinary chair, exactly the same type as the students would sit on. And what is seen on these photographs is what people witnessed with their own eyes and experienced at the time. It's not a phenomena that just turned up on the photograph as an anomaly or a trick of the light or a shake of the camera. The camera was on a tripod the whole time. What you see is what everyone present, and there were over 50 people there in the room, saw. And no cabinet. So I'm sitting, and I'm going to sit for a trance demonstration. Don't need a cabinet for trance. Never did, never use one. All of those telling lies about me can go do one. But there comes a point where I sit and invite any physical phenomena to occur. And it's during that time that these photographs are taken. And what actually happens is what you see is what everyone else saw. Now, whatever you think of it, it doesn't really matter. It's not important to me whether you think it's the spirit world or not. But what I'm trying to tell you is I didn't need a cabinet for people to witness phenomena. So let's see what we've got here. So let's just take a look here at this one. So at this one, this is right at the end of the evening where I'm waking up. And so we see some movement. But what is wonderful is we see all of this over here, like energy. It's like something rushing towards me. And the students present saw that. It came out on photograph, but they actually saw that. So that's really nice. I mean, it's not just a photographic anomaly. They saw that. Here you can see the conditions that I'm sat on. There I am. I'm on an ordinary chair, the same chair that everybody else in the room is sat on. The Christmas tree lights are on. You can see underneath me the red light. And so those are the conditions that I sat under. And here we have at one point where people were saying how completely my face changed and the shape of my head and my ears and everything changed. And that's what they saw. So they talked about it being like a little old balding, man, little sort of elfin type man. But everybody saw that physically with their own eyes. So no cabinet. And we had some phenomena. We also had the classic where people can smell very organic smells that come with ectoplasm. I don't know if there was ectoplasm or not. I make no claims. I never have done. I just sit and I know what I do and I know what I enjoy, and I leave the rest to whatever people want to make of it. But what I'm actually saying is I just love sitting, and that's all there is to it. And I don't actually care what name you want to put on the outcome or any phenomena. And I'm not sitting anymore, and I'm not going to sit anymore because I'm getting older and health does not permit me to reliably sit on a regular basis. So that's just something from the past. But basically what I'm showing you is there was physical phenomena seen, whatever it was, wherever it came from, whatever it means, doesn't really matter, and I'm not bothered. The only reason it was seen was because there was a certain amount of light. It was experienced by everyone in the room, but there was no cabinet. And that is the crux of it. So for trance, I never sat in a cabinet. I'll name names next time. And for when there was phenomena where we were sitting for, just inviting physical phenomena, physical mediumship, there definitely was no cabinet ever. No. So anyway, the point is you decide. Do you want to try it out? Yeah, of course, try it out. Try everything out. Is it necessary? In my opinion, no. And of course, one of the big problems is that when you rely on the cabinet, no matter how honest you are, you're at risk of people thinking and suggesting and maybe even saying they believe you're cheating. And nobody can see you if you've got a curtain drawn. So other mediums kind of do half and half. So they sit in the cabinet and build the power with the curtain. And then when they're ready, the curtain is drawn back so you can see the medium and there might be some light then. So there are a number of ways of doing it. Do I think it's necessary? For me, no. Do I think it's necessary for you? Experiment. It's horses for courses, and it's how we learn. Is that how I work? Absolutely not. Not with a cabinet. Never have, never will. Okay. So make up your mind and experiment, enjoy, but more than anything, just be kind.